Sincere apologies for bringing the news late. I'm Ingutu Himanje with the TV2 News, which is supposed to be at 18 hours. The headlines. Namibia's President Hage Geingob says Zambia is on the march to socio-economic and political development together with the rest of Africa. Transparency International Zambia says it is not possible to have full results of the general elections within the legally stipulated 48 hours period. And the Zambia Medical Association has instituted investigations into age cheating by the under-17 national football team. And now the details. Namibia's President Hage Geingob says Zambia is on the march to socio-economic and political development together with the rest of Africa. President Geingob has further called for value addition to the country's natural resources through industrialization for wealth and jobs creation. The Namibian leader was speaking today in Lusaka when he officially opened the 19th Zambia Agriculture and Commercial Show, which is under the theme Environmental Management for Growth. President Geingob explained that he has observed a lot of development in Lusaka from the last time he was in the country. He has explained that Africa must now focus on inclusive economic growth in order to address poverty. He has also said the focus in agriculture should be on food security and jobs creation, adding that this is evidenced by his observations when he toured some stands at the show.
A lot of 20th time, and it has come through with an interesting theme in managing the environment for growth. The Shaw Society president did come on earlier on and indicated that the society has also creating itself.
Zambia is on a march, and what I have seen definitely is encouraging. It's marching forwards, prosperity, forward to prosperity, based on inclusive growth and sustainable development as encapsulated in Agenda 2063. Your theme is timely and relevant. Sustainable development can only take place if we are able to manage our environment while achieving constant growth. This can be achieved through rapid development of our agricultural and industrial sectors. Industrial development, including industrial agriculture, should be at the core of our region's development integration agenda, as it holds the key to the diversification of our economies.
And Shaw Society President Ben Shoko has disclosed that the society has started upgrading infrastructure in the showground, starting with the rehabilitation of the entire road network in the arena. Mr. Shoko has explained that the Shaw Society Committee has also developed a strategic plan for the showgrounds, which will soon be presented to President Edgar Lungu, who is patron of the society. He has also disclosed that this year's show will be held under the theme Promoting a Green Economy.
On our development plans, Your Excellencies, regarding infrastructure development, we share the concerns being expressed by various stakeholders over the age set of our infrastructure. We are pleased to state that the Society Board of Management is on the drawing board advanced investment plans aimed at upgrading the showgrounds that will have a world-class exhibition center and environmentally friendly areas to be used throughout the year for furthering prosperity of the nation.
Meanwhile, Namibia's First Lady Monica Geingob said she is impressed with the level of intra-regional trade at this year's 90th Zambia Agriculture and Commercial Show. She was speaking today after touring some stands at the show in the company of First Lady Esther Lungu. Here is a report.
The presidential motorcade arrived at the showgrounds minutes after 10 hours. President Edgar Lungu and First Lady Esther Lungu, including senior government officials, were on hand to welcome the guest of honor, Namibian President H. Kengo and First Lady Monica Kengo. Soon after receiving the guest of honor, the two First Ladies went ahead to visit a number of stands. And the first stop was a Dangote cement stand. Here, the First Ladies understood more on the production process of the cement. Later, the First Ladies visited the stand for the Kenyan and Tanzanian women entrepreneurs. It was here where the two received necklaces before buying some in support of entrepreneurship. And speaking after visiting the stands, Mrs. Kengo said she is happy that Zambia is becoming environmentally sustainable.
What I've seen about many of your stands, we've seen gas stoves, we've seen water purifiers. So a lot of that has got to do with obviously less reliance on electricity, more about rural communities being able to drink clean water, and all of it is very environmentally sustainable. So that's excellent. But one thing I noticed very quickly is how intra-African the show is, with your exhibitors from Uganda, from Tanzania, and from other neighboring countries, and that's always very pleasing to see. You see the Dangote cement, we see many Nigerians, and that's the way it should be.
And Mrs. Lungu is also impressed with the number of foreign exhibitors at this year's show.
We have a good number of foreign companies that have come to exhibit, which shows that Zambia is still receptive. And looking at what also the Zambians are doing, I think we are forging ahead with development. We are doing well.
The Shaw Society of Zambia has recorded over 88 foreign exhibitors representing 16 countries. The Shaw Society has also recorded over 800 local exhibitors. This year's 90th Agriculture and Commercial Show is under the theme Managing Environment for Growth. Lufala Nkowani, TV2 News, in Osaka.
Vice President Inonga Wina says government is grateful that some traditional leaders have started appointing women in the traditional leadership structures. Ms. Wina has explained that government is happy that some traditional leaders have started embracing the gender agenda. The Vice President said this today when she paid a courtesy call on the Mwata Kazembe at his palace in Mwansabombwe, Luapula Province. This was before Ms. Wina graced this year's Umutomboko traditional ceremony of the Lunda people of Luapula Province. Meanwhile, the Vice President has commended the Mwata Kazembe for the peace prevailing in his chiefdom during the campaign period ahead of the August 11 general elections. She has said this is an indication that traditional leaders play a role in good governance. And the Mwata Kazembe explained that he has installed a woman as Chief Lukwesa in the Mwense district, and the installation ceremony took place yesterday. The Mwata Kazembe also thanked government for the support it continues to render to traditional ceremonies. Just now we break for commercials. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. Transparency International Zambia TIZ says it is not possible to have full results of the general elections within the legally stipulated 48 hours period. TIZ Executive Director Goodwill Lungu says going by the number of ballots to be cast, the full results might be expected beyond 48 hours. Mr. Lungu has explained that the political parties must understand that each registered voter will have to cast 5 ballots on August 11, whose counting will be tedious. Meanwhile, Mr. Lungu has called on political parties to ensure they deploy at least 20,800 agents in all the polling stations to avoid wild speculations. Mr. Lungu was speaking on 7 Days Today, a TV2 News and Current Affairs program.
Given the 5 different ballot boxes to be counted this year, our estimation is that it may not be possible to announce the final results within 48 hours. But one critical point which I was trying to share with the public is that, like our first caller indicated, that these delays at times they create suspicions, which is quite correct. But our view as Transparency International Zambia is that each and every step has to be verified, whether it takes
a few more extra days beyond 48 hours, our take is that there has to be total transparency. The deployment of polling agents, in our view, is very critical, and I want to advise the political parties strongly to take advantage of what the law provides, that they should appoint very credible and honest polling agents. The
government says it has put up mechanisms that will see Zambia start exporting beef to the European market. Livestock Permanent Secretary David Shamulengo says his ministry is working with Italy to ensure the program succeeds. Dr. Shamulenge has said the creation of disease-free zones in the country is the first step that will see the country export beef to the international market. He has further explained that Zambia has managed to reduce livestock diseases to 1%. Dr. Shamulenge was speaking today when he featured on ZNBC's Kwacha Good Morning program. Now we take another commercial break and we have more news on the other side. Don't go away. We continue with the news. More than 3,000 vulnerable people have benefited from the social cash transfer in Lusaka district. District Commissioner Davis Mulenga has further described the respective empowerment initiative as a success. Captain Mulenga says government has plans to roll out the empowerment initiative to all districts in the country. Details are in this report.
It is meant to benefit the vulnerable people and communities. Even the disabled are part of this initiative program. The social cash transfer has so far benefited 3,771 people in Lusaka district alone. Today, I found a team of officers from the Social Welfare Department under the Ministry of Community Development and Social Welfare giving cash to the vulnerable people in Ngombe compound. The residents are happy with this initiative.
280 tumalipira mu nyumba 250 salako ugulamona kaunga iwalako.
I am very grateful to government for this gesture.
When palipira meninga kambe but ningo yamikira chabe kutapitirize na kutitandizira ise.
Lusaka District Commissioner Captain Davison Mulenga has described the initiative as a success this far.
It's a successful initiative, and we intend, as pronounced by the President, we intend to roll it out to even other districts which haven't benefited, because people have cried for this. And this has been echoed from individual beneficiaries, those that are getting. They're saying despite being little, it is making meaningful change or changes in their lives. So it's as good as it is.
Government plans to roll out this initiative to all parts of the country by the end of this year. This is meant to empower more vulnerable people in various communities. Lufola Nkowani, TV2 News in Lusaka.
Foreign news, the UN Security Council has authorized the deployment of a UN police force to Burundi to try and quell violence and human rights abuses in the country. The council backed a French-drafted resolution to send up to 228 police for an initial period of a year. Burundi earlier said it would accept no more than 50 police officers. More than 400 people have been killed in unrest since President Pierre Nkurunziza said he would run for a third term in office last April. More than 200,000 people have since fled their homes. We break for final commercials and we'll be right back. And now the rest of the news. In sports, the Zambia Medical Association has instituted investigations into age cheating by the under-17 national football team. The team has recently been disqualified for age cheating at the Junior COSAFA tournament in Mauritius after an MRI test. Association President Aaron Mujajati says the doctor who carried out the MRI test on the players is being probed to determine whether there was any professional misconduct in the matter. Dr. Mujajati has told TV2 Sports by telephone that doctors are expected to uphold high moral standards and the association is an interested party in the matter. He has explained that there are a lot of things to be considered, especially when 2 MRI tests are done and they produce different opinions. And finally, in the news, Zambia's silver trophy winner at the African Chess Championship in Uganda, Andrew Kayonde, says he's looking forward to the Chess Olympiads. The Global Chess Games are set for Azerbaijan in September this year. Kayonde has since pledged to work hard towards attaining the Grand Master title after winning the silver at the just-ended African Championships. He was speaking in an interview with TV2 Sports in Lusaka shortly after arriving from Uganda.
I'm very well prepared for it. According to my plan, I wanted to perform the way I performed in this event, which I have managed. So for me, that shows that my training is effective. And even as we approach the Olympiad, I'm certain beyond doubt that Zambia will produce some very good, very strong results at these forthcoming Olympiads. So the Olympiad is one of the areas where you have the best playing. You have Russians, you have China, you have all the big names. So one thing that happens there is it's a very good place to increase your rating. It's also a good place to increase the rating as a country. So my target for the Olympiad is mainly to just increase my rating towards Grandmaster.
And as we end the news, a recap of the stories making headlines. Namibia's President Hage Geingob says Zambia is on the march to social, economic and political development together with the rest of Africa. President Geingob has further called for value addition to the country's natural resources through industrialization for wealth and jobs creation. Transparency International Zambia says it is not possible to have full results of the general elections within the legally stipulated 48 hours period. TIZ Executive Director Goodwill Lungu says going by the number of ballots to be cast, the full results might be expected beyond 48 hours. And finally, the Zambia Medical Association has instituted investigations into age cheating by the under-17 national football team. The team has recently been disqualified for age cheating at the Junior COSAFA tournament in Mauritius after an MRI test. That's the news on TV2 at 18 hours. We'll be back with more news at 20 hours on this very channel tonight. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you then.